Good morning, everybody. We thought we would give you a tour of our brand new 2025 Coachman Apex Nano 208 BHS. So we've got about 20 feet inside. We got this because we wanted a couple options for seating. We've got both this couch, this love seat, which is genuinely super comfortable.
It's actually a jackknife couch.
Yeah, jackknife sofa, sorry. And then the bed folds down. Well, the bed that came with it was awful. So Chuck found a three-fold bed, trifold, as opposed to the bifold where it, folded right where your behind was, your lower back. So this folds out in three sections. Much more comfortable than the hard as a rock mattress that came with the camper, which you kind of expect. So when we're not sleeping, we put it back up so we have both this seating and the dinette seating. It's got I think it has plenty of storage. This is our shakedown cruise, by the way. So we're just trying to figure out what we're doing, and for the most part, these are empty. But it's open all the way across, and you can see it's pretty deep and relatively tall. And then we have this, where I have just thrown some of my things, also deep and tall. So we need to figure out kind of what we're doing with clothes, but that's what we're out here for. How
about your lights?
Oh, yeah. So I ordered these lights off Amazon. And they're awesome because you can set them for warm white and or bright white. So, 60%, 80%. I mean, they're just really awesome. We really like them.
And they're chargeable on a USB charger.
Yeah, they are USB.
As a matter of fact, I've been out here for 8 days. And I haven't recharged them yet. So
yeah,
and we've been using them exclusively in the evening. So
and each one came with its own remote, but one remote operates both of them.
What do you do with those when you're traveling?
Oh, I take them off.
Show them how they come off.
Yeah, they're just
they just essentially hang up there.
Yeah, but. And they're nothing super fancy, but I actually really like the look of them. And I love the warm, low light at night if we're sitting in here watching a movie. I also love all the windows. So we've got this window. We have a window here that have pretty great coverings on them and screens. So they're maybe not as dark as you might want them, but they're dark enough. Maybe if we were, in Alaska in the summer, it might be a problem, but.
Okay, there's a Bluetooth speaker, which I appreciate. Instead of having a stereo, like a lot of campers seem to have, Bluetooth to me is much more practical. If we want to listen to a music or something, we can just play it off the Bluetooth. It does have a charge. It does have a charging dock.
So we can, take it outside. Oops, I don't know what that is. Here are the controls
for
the slide, the exterior light that's under the awning, and then the awning itself to extend and retract.
No problem there. Everything there works just fine.
I had Chuck build an extension of the counter. We are camping off grid right now, so we don't have any electricity, but we kind of envision there's a plug right here, maybe in the mornings having our coffee pot sitting here, our electric coffee pot. Otherwise, we do the stove. It has this huge sink, which is great, but I don't know. I could have had half the sink and a little more countertop, but
that's just your personal preference.
Just, yeah. And we do most everything outside. We don't cook a lot in here. So far it's been fine. Plus we've got the table right behind Chuck. And this is in a slide, so we have all this room. And then these, I also love the blue instead of like yucky brown. So it's kind of blue and gray in here. And this has, you know, full storage under both of them. We're just trying to figure out where to put things at this point. But it's comfortable. I've been happy with it.
And of course, that does fold down
to make another bed.
A kid's bed, maybe.
Yes. And then so back to the kitchen. It's got some drawers, 2 drawers. And then it has this down here. It's great for storing like my cleaning supplies. And I have like my larger pan under there at the back, my larger fry pan. And then, you know, I had some baskets because I'm always looking at YouTubers who, go to IKEA and get these baskets. But for this particular area, it just wasn't practical. The basket was almost too high to get things out of. So I just put my bags and my tinfoil down there. And then down there is, you know, my fire blanket and some hot pads. We've got a propane heater, which will be nice because it's vented.
It's a furnace.
It's a furnace. Heater, furnace, you know. A microwave, which we'll probably never use. But we might. We're going to have grandkids on a trip this summer, so maybe we'll do some things. And then we have this stove. Can I tell them about the stove?
Sure.
Okay. So
this is something that went wrong.
Yes.
This is a problem. It's not a problem with the camper. It's a problem with the operator.
Yeah, and the operator is over there.
The operator is yours truly.
So this had a beautiful glass top that folded up and tucked up out of the way. And then when you're not cooking, you could fold it down. It came down and covered because, you know, if you lean against that, you're trying to ignite it. But I swear on the very first morning Chuck was out here, this was down. Or it
was dark.
It was dark.
It was dark.
And this was closed halfway. And the tech, when he walked us through the camper, was very much, don't put the glass on this if it's hot. Well, it was down part way. Chuck boiled some water here for his coffee and sat down, and a few minutes later it just completely shattered. So I've been using this cutting board, bamboo cutting board, which is fine.
So I'm going to have to figure out.
It doesn't quite fit right.
I'm going to figure out how to take that off of there, and if I want to replace it or use something else. We'll handle that when we get home.
Yeah. I'd like to replace it only because it protects these buttons, but 98% of the time it's just going to be Chuck and me. So we don't really have to worry about them being protected, but anyway. And then we've got more storage up here. Truthfully, it doesn't look like a lot of storage, but we came from a little tiny camper, and this has been really awesome.
I added the struts.
Yes.
There was no way to hold this up, so that was one of the first things I recognized. And
it's just too short for me to have to hold up and dig around. And then we have this great refrigerator, which is
this is a 12-volt refrigerator and freezer.
Which we are totally not used to having.
Yeah.
So that's been really nice. More storage here, which again, just trying to figure it out.
Pantry.
Again, I'm not crazy about my basket situation, so I'm thinking I might just put stuff in there. I mean, these are so tight, I can't imagine that something would knock them open. Chuck put in the TV.
It's a 24-inch smart TV on a swivel where the kids could watch it from the bunk or we could watch it from the couch. Anyway, little pipe insulation on the top to kind of protect it when the slide is in. So really not the best position.
No.
I may play with that some more, but I don't know. I'm not super happy with how I have that swing arm positioned on that TV. So
it's got, they put the backer board in here, but you've got the furnace, the controls right there.
Better way, yeah.
Yeah, let us know for sure. There is a plug in the, I guess, antenna.
Yeah.
Came with some nice AC. Seems to cool it down pretty quickly when we have electricity. We're off grid right now. Lots of lights.
Yeah. Little puck lights everywhere.
Yes. And I have seen kind of somebody complain that there wasn't a light on a switch, but that's okay with us. We're used to that. No.
Yeah.
Bunk beds. We really wanted bunk beds because for this year, when we take a set of grandkids camping with us, it's a boy and a girl, and we didn't want to have to be setting and tearing down up and down a tent every day as we're traveling out west. So the bunk beds were important to us. Right now, I'm kind of using them as a storage area, which probably I'll have down to a better. But there's windows in there that open, so there's even some air in there, some privacy curtains, and then there's a ton of room under there. So I might get some big baskets to put stuff in because this is really great. And then we have the bathroom, which is just, it's a bathroom and it's awesome. And it has a tub and a shower. Another vent up top.
And this is the on-demand water heater, which works really well. You just turn it on here. You set it to the water temperature that you wish, and you turn the water on, and you get the hot water.
And this is confusing. That's what the temperature of the water is right now, without the heater being on. To activate the hot water, you have to run the water because it's on demand, which was a little confusing for me. Now it is not confusing, but
that's how it works.
Yeah.
And then this is the gauge of showing you how much gray water, how much black water, how much fresh water, and how much battery you have. This is the switch to turn the water pump on and off. A little bit of storage in here.
Very little.
But it's got a medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
And it's got some under sink stuff. And shower curtain. Put some hooks up there for towels. And
put this on.
Put this on right here. She's not happy with me hanging my shirts on there, but I kind of like it.
I don't, but that's okay. It's someplace to hang them, right?
Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is with the bed, when you fold that jackknife sofa down, there is about an inch and a half sinking in the sofa. So the top half of the bed is this hard plywood platform, and then where the second half of the bed, made up by the jackknife sofa, it sinks down about an inch and a half. We've tried different things. Actually, I've been sleeping on it for 8 nights now, so I'm pretty used to it. It does tend to give you a sore back. So what I'm going to do when I get home, I will raise this jackknife sofa up about the width of a 2x4, like an inch and a half. There's only 3 screws on each side. Should be a pretty easy job. So I am going to experiment and see if I can take care of that.
You wouldn't think that that little bit would really bother you, especially with what, our 8-inch mattress? Yeah. But it actually, you torques your back a little bit having your feet lower. And so that'll be good. That'll be great. The only thing I can say that is really, I'm not really tickled with, is this open storage space under that couch. You know, for people in their 60s, that's a bit of a pain getting down there. You can't see back in there, so you got to, you know, kneel down. So I'm hoping, maybe not till this fall or winter, but I'm hoping that Chuck will build 2 big drawers to pull out there. Maybe we could throw shoes in one and store stuff in the other. But that is the only thing that I'm not 100% crazy about. Otherwise, I love this camper.
Okay, everything has worked fine so far in this camper, except for the, you know, this comes with a 200 amp solar panel on top and a 15 amp solar controller. Well, immediately when I got home, I kept having a battery overcharge problem, and by process of elimination and phoning the dealer, who was a couple hours away, we bought it in a neighboring state. We came to the conclusion that the solar controller was bad. So I did remove that. They told me that they would file it with warranty and get me a new one. I've not heard a single word back. Meanwhile, I did put a 30. I did buy a 30 amp solar controller and replace it with. It's working really well. So I did that on the outside. I also added a 235 amp lithium battery to it, which has worked really well. So we've been dry camping for 7, 8 days, 9 days, something like that, over a week, and I've not used the whole battery. I'm in limited sun in this site. We do have sun, but we have a lot of shade, a lot of tree cover too. And so far I've been able to keep it up. It was to a low of 31% this morning. And with what I've charged it with today, it's already up to 40. I did go ahead and add some covers to the top of both fans because they didn't have covers on them. So I bought the Max Air type covers that go over where you can have your vents open and your fans running in the rain without water coming in.
I have a question for folks. So I really want to put some type of, you know, bright tile, vinyl tile. And I have found a couple, but they all say keep it, you know, not for closer than 12 inches to your heat source. So if you have done that in a camper, whether it's an Apex Nano or not, tell me what you did. Tell me, has your vinyl shrunk or melted being this close to the heat? Because we're to the point where I want to do some, you know, decor, and I think it would be good to kind of protect this wall from grease and other stovetop messes. So tell me what you did.
Okay. What else do you have? Anything else you can think of?
I don't think so. The slide is, you know, pretty straightforward. The awnings worked great. The windows are great. I love it because, you know, we've come from camping, tents and pop-ups. And so I love having the air and the breeze and to be able to see out. It's been awesome. I don't know. I don't think I have any that's it. I'm so happy with it.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go at this. We are glad that you watched, and please shoot us any questions you have. If you're familiar with our channel, we've been camping across North America, Canada, and the U.S. for the last 5 years. Starting in our little WeeRoll camper, we'll start a new season with this camper and do some campground reviews and different adventures along the way. But we appreciate you watching. If you get a chance and you like what you see, please consider subscribing to our channel. All right. Thank you.
Bye.